Warning, the video you are about to watch may make you laugh, cry, cuss, yell, vomit, scream, holler, whisper, throw shit, or possibly even cause you to reconsider your subscription to this channel. If after this video you feel like you have been cheated out of the money you paid to watch it, feel free to submit your concerns in the comments section and I'm sure someone will give a shit. Thanks. What's going on, boys and girls? There's one game that I think would most likely be on every Tennessee fan's top 5 list for those of us over 30. It was a road game. It was a game that Tennessee was not supposed to win, and it was a Tennessee game that they were not winning. In fact, they were getting run out of the stadium. It was embarrassing. It was so bad as I sat and watched this game in Raleigh, North Carolina on my television. There was, I don't know, it was almost halftime, and I was so pissed off and disgusted that I left the living room and went to my bedroom and started doing my weekend cleaning. What happened right before halftime in this game probably stands out in my mind as one of my favorite memories for a single play. You guessed it, Miracle at South Bend. So it's almost halftime. Tennessee's getting smoked, and the Fighting Irish are getting ready to tack on a field goal to extend their lead.
But this is a 32 and it's blocked by Tennessee. So finally a big play by the defense.
Look at here.
And they still have the ball. And now Miley's in the open.
Floyd Miley.
Could go all the way. Floyd Miley. All the way for a touchdown.
In the second half, we start scoring touchdowns. We're like, okay, this could happen. But on the last drive, Notre Dame finally starts moving the ball. And you're thinking, man, they're going to snatch it. I was thinking they're just going to snatch this victory right out of our hands like so many teams do to me as a Tennessee fan.
It will be 27 yards. Miss, it's a victory, Tennessee. Make Notre Dame wins. It was partially blocked. Tennessee 35, Notre Dame 34.
And there you have it, the miracle at South Bend. John Ward's call on that last kick, the kick is good. No, the kick is no good. The kick is no good.
The kick is good. No, it is no good. It is no good.
Another game near and dear to my heart and could very easily be number 1 on this list, if not for another game that we'll get to, is the 1982 Tennessee-Alabama game. I've talked about this ad nauseum on this channel over the years, but I never get tired of talking about it. Alabama has 11 wins in a row against Tennessee. They're going to get their 12th. They're going to come into Neyland Stadium and just torch Tennessee this year. But it's okay. The World's Fair is going on. You know, there'll be plenty of things for Tennessee fans to do when they get done with the game. And in the stadium that night sat Big Vol Daddy. That's right. It was my 3rd Tennessee game ever and my first Tennessee-Alabama game. I was but 15 years old. And man, the party after the game is what really is most memorable. You know, of course I wasn't partying. I was 15 and I was with my parents, but oh man, it was amazing. The most clogged Knoxville has probably ever been after a football game, and broke that 11-year streak. Got 11-year streak this year. Come on, Tennessee. Got the Gumps at home. Come on, Tennessee.
And now, with orange balloons soaring into the sky, it's football time in Tennessee. And you get a chance to experience the thrill of racing onto the field through the giant T. Now, looking into the sky where the orange balloons go soaring up. Tennessee and Alabama. Western Conference, losing only 4 times. Tennessee, last week, 24-24 tie with LSU.
Even young Tennessee fans, how did that sound, hearing about Alabama dominating everyone? Man, it hurts, because it's been a lifelong thing for me, you know. But, there was this one very special year, and, you know, we haven't had a lot to cheer about against Alabama as Tennessee fans, and especially for me, you know, as an older fan. I've had a lot of heartache and misery against Alabama, and, you know, I love to talk trash to the Alabama fans. I love to mix it up with them, but let's be honest, man. They've got a hell of a team to root for, and decades of misery they've put on a lot of other fan bases, and we are no different. But we have had our moments, Tennessee fans, have we not? 82, for example, and another very special Tennessee-Alabama game. You know, it's normally always the third Saturday in October when Tennessee and Alabama meet, but occasionally you get
The second Saturday in October. That means the traditional Alabama-Tennessee game is only 1 week away. Right? Wrong. For the first time since 1914, the game is not on the third Saturday. It's today. For Tennessee fans, winless in 9 years, anything is a good omen.
Right end for the Vols to the right side. This will be Manning. Back to throw. Across the middle. Pass complete. Ball down at the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. What did he do? All he did was score. Joey Kent. Touchdown on play
number 1. You never could tell against Alabama. You just didn't know what to expect. You didn't know whether Tennessee was going to win or not, even if we had great teams. But that night, there was no doubt who was winning that game. Always, I love the road games. It's always been like that for me from the very first road game I went to, which was, pretty sure it was a South Carolina game in the early 90s. And, of course, we smoked them, and just the experience of driving to another town and pretty much taking over their town, at least that's the way it feels, it is great. And Birmingham was no different. Before, during, and after that game, as a Tennessee fan, just had a blast. So there's 3 great Tennessee football games in my top 5 with only 2 to go. Oh, the 1986 Sugar Bowl. Tennessee fans, you all know the story about the season. Tony Robinson's the quarterback. It's going to be a great year. Tennessee expected to do great things, and then down in Alabama, Tony gets his knee tore up. And I know I was thinking that's the season. You know, we managed to still pull the game out, and 16-14, I think, was the final. Dale Jones with an incredible defensive deflection and interception for Tennessee. Biggest play in the game right there. In comes Darrell Dickey, and season's over. He showed poise, he showed discipline, and he showed us that he could do it, and he did. Then we faced Miami and Vinny Testaverde in the Sugar Bowl. So we've had a great season, you know, had a lot of fun, but it's over now. You know, Miami, with their team's going to come into the Sugar Bowl and just kick the living shit out of Tennessee. And they did. They did exactly that on their first series. They came in and took it right down the field, smacked us in the mouth. 7-0 Miami. Okay, that's definitely it. They're going to beat us to death. But it didn't happen. It did not happen that way. Tennessee reversed the roles, and they trashed the Hurricanes. I mean, just, man, it was so fun to watch. I know you younger guys can watch it on the internet and on DVDs and stuff like that, but you just had to be there I wasn't there, but you just had to be watching it that night. You know, Keith Jackson was announcing, and we just kicked the shit out of them. It was beautiful. So I'm not going to show you any highlights from the game. Instead, what I will do for you is give you Johnny Major's pregame speech. And one of Johnny's favorite things to say, attack, attack, attack.
Attack, attack, attack. You might say that, somebody might say, well, the fun's over, now let's get down to business. Well, let's hope the fun has just started. And the only way for fun to start is for us to keep our minds on our business and play like the Tennessee Volunteers, Southeastern Conference champions know how to play. And that's good enough to beat anybody and everybody on any given day. You know that, and I know that.
That's right.
First 5 minutes of the game. These are things that got us where we are. First 5 minutes. Poise at all times, whether we are ahead, tied, or behind. Discipline. Intimidation factor. I want to reiterate that again. They don't have any respect for you. Make them remember you as long as they live.
That's right!
The way you hit, and the way you knock them downfield, and the way we hustle. Attack, attack, attack. Always attack. And by all means, have fun. What's it all about? You don't have a good time out there. Let's repeat our game maxims. Number 1. The team making the fiercest mistakes will win. That's what got us where we are. Being the best disciplined football team in the United States.
That's right.
We have fewer turnovers compared to our opponents from anybody else in the nation. Number 2. We play hard, make plays, and one comes our way sore. The turnover ratio. Opportunistic football. Capitalizing on our breaks. Number 3. If we're first game, breaks against us. Don't let up. Put on more steam. How much Michigan against Nebraska? They got down 14-3 at halftime. They came back and whipped them. Good. We 26 points in the third quarter. Keep your poise. Number 4. I see. Cover. Cover size on offense. Pursue the game tackle on defense. This is a winning edge. Spin the winning edge. 11 weeks to get to the championship. On your journey. A team of testament. 5. Protect our kickers and passes. Keep our heads in the game at all times and play smart football all night long. People in the game, listen to the calls. People on the sideline, be on substitutions, kicking situations, managers, trainers, coaches, everybody. 6. That's the kicking game. We're here for the breaks ready. We must and we will win the kicking game because we are better at that. 7. Carry the flag to Miami and keep it there for 60 minutes. Touch somebody. Survival. That is a game. That is a goal.
Man. Every time I watch that, I get chills. And you know what? These young Tennessee fans, I commend you guys. Anybody that's picked up Tennessee as their favorite team over the last 10 years and stuck with Tennessee and hung in there and hung in there and hung in there. But that brings us down to our last game, the 5th game. Not in the 5th position, of course, but the 5th game of my top 5. I think we all know what that 5th game is, but if for some reason you've been under a rock for the last 20 years, 98 National Championship game, well, technically it was the 99 championship game, but it was the 98 season. You know what I'm talking about. What a year for the Tennessee Vols. No one in the preseason expected Tennessee to win the national championship. And you watch the first game against Syracuse. After that, you knew we weren't winning the national championship, and we'd be not lucky, but we're going to have a hard time winning the SEC that year. We get out of Syracuse with a narrow win, and that would be the first game of several that season that Tennessee could have, and some might even say should have, lost. I've got the hiccups, forgive me. The Florida game. How we beat Florida that year can only be destiny. That's the only... Man, they were up and down the field. Up and down and up and down. But we got big turnovers at timely and critical moments of the game. And then, of course, get the final play of the game, they miss a field goal. So we escape with a 2017 win over Florida. And everybody knows the big one, the Arkansas game. That's a game that, quite honestly, we had no business winning. But we did. Somehow they pulled it out. And they managed to get to the championship game. Who are they playing? Florida State. Back then, Florida State was in the top 5 every year. I forget how many years in a row they were in the top 5 and stayed in the top 5, but it was a long damn time. And for me personally, I loved this matchup because I hate Florida State. Back then, I really hated them.
Bowden, of course, is a longtime legend, and he too will congratulate Philly Fulmer, because the Tennessee Volunteers felt they might very well be a team of destiny.
The national championship is clad in big orange. So there you go. There's BVD's personal top 5. Really, outside of this being number 1, just for the obvious reason, winning the national championship, you can rank these games, these 5 games, any position you want, 5 through 1. And it's hard to pick a top 5. Shit, it's hard to pick a top 10. And I had somebody ask me what's my favorite play in Tennessee history. Are you kidding me? How do you pick one play as your favorite for any team? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. You know the drill. Subscribe, hit that like button, tell your friends, tell your enemies, share it on Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff, and go Vols, baby.